Okay, are you trying to find sulfur in Subnautica but not sure where to look or for what one? Because yep, you heard right, there's actually two different sulfurs. In this video, I'm going to show you where to find both of them, cave sulfur and crystalline sulfur, what they look like and the safest ways to collect them without getting yourselves blown up or eaten alive or both. So let's jump in. So cave sulfur. This is an early game version of sulfur and you'll need it for important tools like the repair tool and laser cutters. You can find the cave sulfur in the safe shallows and nearby cave systems in early game, so it's pretty easy to find. The important thing to know is that the cave sulfur is not just laying aground. The important thing to know is that the cave sulfur isn't just laying on the ground for easy pickings. It's actually found inside the nest of a creature called a crashfish. When you enter the small caves in the safe shallows, have a look, you can see almost like these pimple looking things on the sides of the caves. But also if you listen carefully, you may even hear some screaming sounds or some gargle screaming sounds. That means a crashfish is about to launch at you. After it explodes, go back to the plant it came from, and inside the red little plant is cave sulfur. Now, a little tip here is usually a good idea to carry medkits with you just in case you do get hit. And try not to get trapped inside a tight cave with a crashfish when it charges, that's going to hurt. So number 2, let's move on to the crystalline sulfur. This is a late game version and is much harder to get. And so we're at the coral point now. So to get to the crystalline sulfur, we have to go into the Lost Lake. Now from the coral point, I'm going to head northwest north. It's kind of bang in the middle, but just more slightly like a half a click to the left. And I'm literally going to beeline it for about 1,300 meters. Now, as we're going, I'm going to speed this up with the power of editing and just give you some points of interest. So as you can see, we're through the safe shallows, we're going through the kelp forest, we kind of touch on the mushroom forest a little bit, but not too much, and kind of like the grand reef, kind of teeter on that edge. As you can see with my pointer here, I've come across this huge mountain in the middle of the ocean. And just to my right, you can also see the floating islands, or the start of the floating islands kind of biome. What I want to do is I kind of want to hit just the perfect center of this mountain in front of me, but the other side of it. So I'm just going to swim around it here. Now be careful, there is lots of enemies over here, even a sneaky little ghost leviathan hanging around this biome as well. It's kind of like the bulb zone. Or the Grand Reef really. And so I just want to head to the other side of this mountain and I just want to head straight down. If you are using the scanner like I am, it'll be pretty easy for you to locate the entranceway to the Lost Cave. Probably good mention here, there are plenty of ways to access the Lost Cave. This is just my favourite one. And so as we start to head down into the Lost River from this way, the best place to find the sulfur is as you start to see that kind of green toxic kind of smokiness kind of fog at the bottom of the ocean part here. That's where the sulfur is going to be hiding. And unlike the cave sulfur where it was in the pods with the crashfish, this is actually out in the open. It looks like these yellow kind of blocks with white lines across it. And so you can just go through here, relatively safe if you keep to the edges. And like I mentioned, there is a ghost leviathan in here, so do be careful, enter with your own caution. Make sure you're fully repaired. And so you just go through and you can pick it up. Now what's quite nice about this biome as well is that if you're eagle-eyed enough, is that there's lots of crops in here that you can hit on, so you can get things like gold and silver. You can get other things in here as well, which is really cool, like the gel sacks. Even blood oil is at the entrance as well, which you will need in late game. Like I mentioned though, as I start to leave this area, you'll start to see something really funny happen on my screen. I did in fact get clapped by the ghost leviathan, so I'm warning you because I didn't repair my sea moth before I left, so you probably should, or otherwise this is what will happen to you. You're looking into the future, everyone. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope that helps you find both different types of sulfur that you will need for your game for early and late game. Let me know what tutorials you want to see next, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care all.